Okay, let's finish this out. We said that if you are looking at cosecant, so let's just start from scratch. So if you are looking at cosecant, what we said was, first we're going to write this as 1 minus sine, so we're going to replace cosecant with sine because we are leveraging the fact that cosecant of x is 1 over sine. So if I can do that, it's 1 minus sine 2x minus pi. And then I'm going to redo the order, and it's going to be sine 2x minus pi plus 1. But then I factor out b and get negative sine of 2. Well, I divide 2x by 2 and get x. I divide pi by 2 and get pi over 2. So in this case, my period, I think it's pretty clear that we can see that a is equal to negative 1, b is equal to 2, h is equal to pi over 2, and k is equal to 1. That k is going to be your midline, and this pi over 2 is going to be your new start. Okay, so now what? Well, let me go down here and clear off some space. Make it zero, make it white. So if I do this, okay. Now what? Boop, boop. Period is always 2 pi over b. Well, in this case, that's 2 pi over 2. So the period is pi. That means our step size, p over 4, excuse me, is going to be pi over 4. Yeah, it's always period over 4 here. It's pi over 4. Okay. So we are going to start at pi over 2 and take a step of pi over 4. Well, since this is in fourths and this is in seconds, and I'm going to add a step, I guess I'm going to hit this with a 2 over 2 and make it 2 pi over 4 as my starting point. So this is going to be 2 pi over 4 is going to be my starting point. So then I'm going to take a step of size pi over 4 to 3 pi over 4, and then 4 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, and lastly 6 pi's over 4. So I've taken my 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. So that's going to get me to 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, and 6 pi over 4. Those are my x's. And then my outputs are negative sine. You can think of that as negative 1 times sine of 2x minus pi over 2 plus 1. So that's just my old sine values that got hit with a positive 1. They got hit with a negative 1 and then added 1. So I take negative 1 times, and then I add 1. Negative 1 times, add 1. So that means my original sine function, if I have that nice and memorized, goes from 0 to 1 to 0 to negative 1 to 0. 0, 0 to positive 1, 0, negative 1, and 0. So that's trying to tell you that your output value should be 0. Oh, I'm sorry, should be 1, 0, 1. What is it going to be? 1, 0, 1, 2, and 1. Right? Because this is, since it has a negative out in front of it, it's going to be the reflected version. And so it's going to go down and then up. So over here, our midline, remember, is at 1. So that means the middle of my graph is going to be at y is equal to 1 is the midline. And then we go up from there, the amplitude in this case, absolute A, is absolute negative 1 or 1. So we're going to go up 1 to 2 and down 1 to 0. So it seems like I'm going to go in between 0, 1, and 2 for this graph. But since it is a negative sine graph, I'm going to go down and then up and then back down. So it seems like I should start at a midline, go to a valley, go to a midline, go to a peak, and then go to a midline. So your graph should look like that, right? And you'll see that that's what we get over here. So we know that where sine is 0, cosecant has a vertical asymptote. So we have a vertical asymptote here, here, and here. We also know that where sine has a peak, cosecant has a valley. So we have a valley here, and we know that where sine has a peak, cosecant has a valley. So cosecant has a valley, and it looks just like that. So that's it. Let me know if you need any help, and have a great day.